COVID-19, that's about 14 days. So, for 14 days, if you've been exposed, we ask people, while they still have no symptoms, to self-quarantine. Again, trying to keep away from others, stay away, decrease transmission. Self-distancing is really kind of an overarching idea for our general public, which is really to increase the space or distance to avoid transmission. Think about it as making it harder for the virus to get to each other. So this is kind of a little bit of a way to think of it. Isolation, you are sick. An individual is sick. Those symptoms include a fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Quarantine for 14 days. This is when you are exposed but have no symptoms. So 14 days, we ask you that you've been exposed, you're an individual that's sick, but you have no symptoms. You quarantine for those 14 days. Now, during quarantine, if you start to get symptoms, you then transition from going to quarantine to self-isolation, because now you are sick with a fever, cough, shortness of breath. So now you're no longer in quarantine, you're actually in isolation. So you yourself are transitioning from that one phase to another. So what this means in terms of social distancing is that without social distancing, when an individual gets sick, they are transmitting the virus to other individuals who then will either quarantine or not. They will transition, they will get sick, they keep passing it on further and further. And you have vulnerable populations where this virus can lead to fatality. Why social distancing matters is because it creates that space. It creates that gap that prevents even those that are sick and that were exposed, that transition to being ill, to really prevent them from further taking that virus to the next individual. That's why social distancing is really important. We talk about comorbidity a lot in this discussion about those vulnerable populations. And a lot of times we refer to things such as age range, heart disease, respiratory health. But to give you some values, in the Tri-County region of Peoria, Tazewell, and Woodford counties, there are close to 59,000 people that are 65 and older, which is definitely a vulnerable population for this. In 2017 alone, the hospitals did over 1,500 treated cases of heart failure. Those are individuals that would be very much impacted if they were to come down with the virus. Anywhere from 11 to 18% of our residents in the Tri-County have asthma, another comorbidity related to this. So just think about the effects of the virus to that 11 to 18%. That's anywhere from 1 in 10 to 2 in 10. That's a huge range of our population. In fact, we have in 1 year over 800 cases of COPD. Again, another comorbidity that having this virus would be very detrimental to their health. And then diabetes. Anywhere from 6 to 10% of our population has diabetes. And again, there's about over 900 inpatient cases in 2017 that were related to type 2 and type 1 diabetes. So when we think about this virus, it's more than just the individual. It's those numbers plus more that live in our community, are part, active members that we are trying to protect. And that is why things such as making sure if you are sick, you are self-isolating. That if you have been exposed, that you are self-quarantining. And most importantly, the idea of social distancing and the other non-pharmaceutical interventions. So what we should be doing is, again, we want to follow all of those three ideas. We want to practice good hygiene that includes washing your hands, covering your coughs. And most importantly, we want to change the mindset of our community. We need to make sure we are now going from the behavior of not to if you have been exposed, not when or whether you have been exposed. To change the fact that you should really start practicing behaviors as if you have been exposed. And what does that mean to those thousands in our community that having COVID-19 would be very much a burden on them? So those are really the things I wanted to share in terms of when we're talking about the importance of that mindset as well as social distancing, talking about what are essential services and making sure we practice them.
That was just glorious.
With that also comes the fact that Illinois Department of Public Health has further looked at prioritizing testing. This is done twofold. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but one is that as more and more of our private lab testings are coming on board in the next few weeks, Illinois Department of Public Health will be focusing on their testing on really specific populations. Those that are in long-term care facilities, skilled nursing homes, anything that's congregate living. And the reason why we want to focus on these types of populations, as well as those that are hospitalized with pneumonia, is because testing matters in their treatment. For most individuals, getting tested will not change the course of their treatment in terms of COVID-19. Most individuals, again, 80%, can stay home, will have mild illnesses, and need to self-isolate, take their medications that are fever-reducing, rest, and hydrate. But for that high vulnerable population that are in those type of settings, knowing their test changes their treatment trajectory. And so we want to make sure that it can help guide care, and testing will be prioritized for those individuals. This is something that as a community we're going to need to get a little bit more used to, the idea that we need to have these prioritizations. And included in those prioritizations is in regards to our EMS services. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Ashley Huff. She is the EMS Medical Director for Unity Point Health.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Ashley Huff. I'm the EMS Medical Director for Unity Point Health EMS. I'm also an emergency physician at Unity Point Health Proctor. Here today to talk a little bit about what we're doing in our emergency departments in the area, as well as what EMS is doing to get ready for COVID-19. We changed our policies and procedures in the ERs. For any of you who have been there recently, you know that we no longer are allowing visitors. It's important for everyone to know that we are not doing elective testing for COVID-19 in our emergency departments. Only patients who meet the very specific criteria or who are so sick that they need to be admitted to the hospital and also are approved by the public health department are going to be tested. If you feel that you may have symptoms consistent with COVID-19, please call your doctor or the nurse call line to discuss it with them, unless you feel that you're having an emergency, in which case you can always come to the emergency department or call 911. The other thing we want to say about the emergency departments is we're trying to keep our rooms as open as possible to be available for all of the patients in our community who may need it. Our vulnerable population is becoming very sick from COVID-19 as it moves more into our community, and so we won't be doing things like work notes and some of those visits nearly as much as we used to. So if you need a work note, please contact your primary care provider or urgent care, or even better, see if your employer would possibly be willing to address their policies to not require work notes at this time. As far as EMS is concerned, we are working very hard to prepare our EMS providers to give them the appropriate PPE to go out and treat their patients and stay safe while doing so. Right now, we are also implementing protocols that will allow them to go out and evaluate patients who are having an emergency, and potentially also recommend that patient stay home after a thorough evaluation if the patient meets specific criteria that determines that they would be safe to stay home and treat themselves. So if you feel like you're having an emergency, you can call 911. If you just feel like you're sick, please call your doctor first, as our 911 and emergency services are going to be very strained as we address this virus.
So with that, we'll open up to questions from our audience.
Hitting from 195 yards out.
I don't know the details. We can reach out to Woodford County, but I know they were working on various contacts related to cases, as well as some others that were coming in. But then when you talked about more testing, did you say that we were going to have private labs coming online, and there wasn't any more testing available? Are you seeing that on the horizon? The state is seeing that in the horizon. The limiting agents still exist in terms of just sample collection, but as Dr. Huff mentioned, as well as Dr. Stoner, who's available to answer questions, we are still prioritizing to make sure that testing is for those where testing makes a difference. And so there are more labs that are privately that are coming online, At the same time, the state lab, which has been up and running, actually the state of Illinois being the first to up and run their state labs, they are the ones that are going to be much more prioritizing their levels.
But I mean, people start seeing the testing. So like you talked about with nursing homes, we will be able to monitor our nursing homes better, which is, places that seem to be part of this.
And I think that's the idea behind the prioritization. So the question being that if we are able to prioritize nursing homes, then we're able to monitor them more so. And that's really the idea behind why Illinois Department of Public Health is pushing for that prioritization of testing.
Do you have any idea when we're going to start getting more testing?
I hope soon. I think we all hope soon. But understanding that every day we're learning more and more labs that are getting onboarded, getting validated, because again, we want to make sure that the tests are approved through the right processes with the FDA and validated so we don't have false positives and false negatives, which means that we want to make sure that they are sound in the decision-making process. And so with that, it's time consuming to go through those tests, but the effect of them or the outcome of having valid tests like that means that we're able to better address this virus. No, it's not. So it's really, there's 2 cases in Woodford County to date and 3 cases in Peoria County and 0 in Tazewell for your positives.
Talk for a second about PPE availability. I know they don't like
He's going to go down to even par after that.
Anywhere else, start gathering these up. So like dentists that have closed their offices recently, for instance, if they have any spare around. I mean, talk a little bit about PPE supplies here in the area.
I think it's a great question, and Dr. Huff, I know, can answer it too in her role. The requests are coming in full force. We are in our community are actually coordinating that between our 2 emergency management agencies, the city's Office of Emergency Management and the county's Emergency Management Agency. And the idea that this question around PPE and how we can make sure that we have supplies is that we are trying to coordinate it through these levels and then request it through the state and the national stockpiles. But you're right, it is getting to the point where we are asking as much as we can around community partners that are closing down shops, such as dentists or some places that do elective procedures, to bring in the supplies to our first responders. They are a priority, which makes it really important for what Dr. Huff said, which is when to use your first responders. And that be aware that they will be prioritizing those calls because they want to not only control the capacity in our emergency departments, but also the capacity of their PPE as well.
So at this point, would you be putting out a plea to dentists and other healthcare providers who do elective services to, is there a place they can come forward to say, hey, I have this, like, here it is?
Yeah, we've actually had a lot in our community in terms of those places such as dentists and other providers that are not using their current PPE because of closures, wanting to request it. And for those of you who are aware that requests for volunteers as well as products actually through 211, they set it up to create donations throughout the community. And based on what we're receiving, we are sending them back out to our providers. Dr. Huff? I don't have that with me, but it is, I believe Peoria County has 13 of the ones that were listed, and then I think, don't hold me to it, but I can get it back to you. I can have a breakdown, but I believe it's 3 for Woodford County and the rest with Tazewell. 33. Yeah, you asked for negatives, right? Correct? Or, pending. Oh, sorry. Pending is 22, and I can get the breakdown of those. And I think it's something to understand that the pending test, that number is going to start changing because of the prioritization aspects as well.
Looks like
again, in terms of, I think it's going to maybe stay about the same, but not necessarily. They're going to be, again, focused testing to those high priority groups that we're looking at. So earlier on when we thought we had more testing available, I think there was some testing that might have been done earlier that in today's criteria we would not test for necessarily. So let me get you Dr. Ashley.
And now the 4th hole.
As far as patients go for the emergency departments, so yes. So the patients that we consider priority patients are ones with severe difficulty breathing. If they're having chest pain, if they don't feel that they are strong enough to stand up, walk around, take care of themselves at home. A lot of these patients are going to fall into that vulnerable category of patients who are elderly or who have other health problems. They're going to make them get much sicker from this virus than the rest of us.
They don't necessarily have to be COVID, but
Not necessarily. You can have a lot of health problems, lung issues, lung disease, heart disease, and be fairly young too.
and they will still be prioritized.
Correct.
Well, this one's looking like it's in a fair way.
Sure. So one of the things is we're not allowing any visitors anymore. So people come into the emergency department. If they're an adult patient, they come in and they're taken to their own room, but we're not having other people in the department with them to try to limit the spread of the virus. Our PPE in the hospital has also changed. So anybody who has fever, a cough, influenza-like illness, we are approaching their evaluation as if they could have COVID-19 because we want to make sure that our staff are protected from catching it themselves so they don't spread it. We also want to make sure that our other patients are protected.
Describe those changes specifically. So if I have a patient with flu-like symptoms, am I wearing face mask? What am I wearing now that I wasn't before?
Sure. So we look at droplet precautions for PPE. So patients with an influenza-like illness, we're going to put on a gown, our gloves, a mask, and goggles. And that's to make sure that if the patient is coughing or there's droplets in the air, that we don't get infected by them. Yes. I really don't know, and I think what I would emphasize on those is there's a lot of interest right now in people wanting to be tested. We have a lot of other viruses in the community. I'm getting positive influenza tests back every day. There's a lot of other viruses. RSV is big right now. It's RSV season. There's a lot of other things you could have besides COVID-19. So if you're healthy, and you're doing well, and you're able to take care of yourself, knowing that you have COVID-19 versus another virus doesn't necessarily change medical management. We still recommend you take your cold medications. I'm sorry. You still recommend you take your cold
Sitting
medicines.
at 204 of the day. Okay, let's see what the fifth has in store today.
I honestly don't know at this time.
So early, I know you said that you were on the top of elected officials, government officials around the country, and then you said that people were doing a good job. How are those two things connected? Are other people just doing worse? How do you know that we're doing good right now?
And it's again not to call any specific community out, but from a couple of these calls are nationwide calls. So just from some of the questions from some of the other communities that are things that we're just way beyond, and they're just asking how they ramp up and to do that. And so it's not as much to say these communities are bad. It's to reassure people that we feel like we're in a good place in terms of responding accurately, getting. I think we're doing a great job of getting as much information out to the people in our community as we can. Everybody really wants a lot of information on this, and we want to give it to them. And in terms of some of the emergency preparedness that Monica and the EMS folks are doing behind the scenes, I just want to try to extend the confidence that I see in them and what they're doing, getting that job accomplished, and the confidence that we have in them to get that done. So this is me. I wouldn't go anywhere like that in public if there was going to be anybody. I mean, and I think the sooner that people get that mindset, why would you even want to take that chance? If you walk through a peroxide shower to get into a business that you didn't necessarily have to go into. Why would you? And so that's all we're trying to say is there may be a time in the not too distant future where we don't have a choice on that. If people don't work really hard to try to keep this thing under control, those type of emergency measures are going to be put on us. So I think it's really important for people to say there is no reason for me to take that chance to either expose myself or to potentially expose somebody to something that I may be carrying as well.
So the bars and the restaurants no longer have not been operating to drive surveys. Do you have any reason or any knowledge or thought as to why that is the way it is, yet people are still going to hair salons and nail shops, and that's direct touch. You're directly touching somebody's hand through their nails, you're directly touching somebody's head through their hair. Why is it that those places are still doing it right now?
I can only speculate, so it doesn't really do any good for me to speculate on why they may or may not. I think that people are doing a very good job of minimizing or eliminating any potential for that type of contact. In a lot of the businesses that have to perform that service, they don't want to subject their employees to that type of contact either. Yes, I would, and as proactive as our state has been, I don't think that is going to happen. But certainly, if we felt that we needed to take that measure ahead of the state, and it wouldn't be on my call alone, Monica and the other EMS folks, it would be a conscientious decision about. I mean, that's a pretty important decision to make. But we have to be ready to make that decision if the trained people think that that's what we need to do. We all know it's out there, and I have no knowledge of plans that the governor has to do that. If he wants to do it, I know it's a contingency. It has to be.
And after that one, staying pretty steady. Fourth
With that,
place.
without any additional questions, thank you all, and we'll see you tomorrow again here at 4 o'clock. Thank you, Tina. I talk fast. I apologize.
1470 and 100.3 WMBD. Peoria News on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks.
Cases continue to rise. I'm Jeremy Scott. 3 more people in Illinois have died from COVID-19. Governor J.B. Pritzker says one of the patients was a Florida woman visiting Sangamon County. The other 2 deaths were in Cookville.
These moments will not get easier. We are fighting this fight for every person in Illinois. We've all lost something today.
The total number of cases in the state has increased to 422 in 22 counties. That's up from yesterday's 288 in 17 counties. And locally, the number has increased to 5. A second person in Woodford County is tested positive. The 3 others are in Peoria County. WMBD News brought to you by the Whistler Agency. High fees, taxes, and misunderstanding the stock market can eat up your retirement savings. Protect your nest egg. Have a conversation with retirement planner Tim Whistler. Visit thewhistleragency.com.
Light traffic conditions right now, I-74, according to our IDOT camera, traffic moving right across the Spade eastbound from the Peoria side from Peoria for lane restrictions once again tomorrow for bridge work on the Murray-Baker Bridge. And eastbound, War Memorial Bridge down Mount Prospect to the McCluggage Bridge. No delays at Bonder Heights this month. Only 4-year-old.
Quite sure where
Your
this
whole
one's
house for
going
as
to
little as $49 down and $49 per month for 36 months. Choose from a wide variety of styles and colors. See store for details. Mike Sable, UpToUnitedGroup.com, traffic 1.
The trial continues for 33-year-old Leslie Jett, who's facing 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 charge of aggravated battery for the death of 4-year-old Tate Thurman of East Peoria. Jett appeared in Tazewell County Court today via video chat and is pleading not guilty. She's seeking private counsel, and her next court date has been set for April the 9th. WMBD Markets. The Dow today closed up 188.27, NASDAQ up 160.73, S&P up 11.29. Showers and thunderstorms, the story of the forecast. Your WMBD Storm Tracker forecast is up.
346-6604. Call Kelly Construction. Call Kelly today.
Hi, this is Mike Kelly with Kelly Construction. Do you have recent storm damage from wind or hail? Many people are not aware that they have damage from the recent storms. Or have you suffered a loss due to fire or water and flood? Please give us a call for a free inspection of your commercial or residential property. We are certified experts in storm, fire, water, and mold restoration. We will help you navigate each step of the process of restoring you whole and getting you back to normal. Call now for your free inspection or visit us on the web at kellyconstructioninc.com.
346-6604. Call Kelly Construction. Call Kelly today.
50 years ago, gas was around 36 cents a gallon. The average house cost less than $5,000. Things were different, but what hasn't changed is CityLink having served the greater Peoria area with convenient, safe, and affordable bus service. Established in 1970, CityLink has been a continual source of economic growth for the Peoria area, providing a vital service to an annual ridership of over 2.5 million. Learn more at ridecitylink.org. CityLink, celebrating 50 years of moving forward.
WMBD Storm Tracker Forecast is brought to you by Avani, still open with delivery and curbside pickup and pickup windows in North Peoria and Deegan. Go to Avani'sPeoria.com or the app to find your Avani's. Showers, thunderstorms this afternoon and a high of 65. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms and low around 40, winds reaching 30 miles an hour. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with temps falling throughout the day, breezy. Wind gusts as high as 35 miles an hour. We'll see temps around 40 by 9 a.m. As I said, they'll dip further than that as well. It's 58 right now. I'm Jeremy Scott, WMBD News. It's amazing.
Well, because, look, no, he's an idiot, but yes, a lot of people are idiots when they're that age, right?
Yes.
And this guy just happened to be in front of a news camera reflecting what hundreds, if not thousands, of other people his age were thinking at that time.
Yes.
And that's going to follow him around for years.
But again, I don't think you can undersell the wealth of knowledge that these college students are getting with their education. Just the knowledge and know-how to take on the world. They're ready to go. I mean, when they graduate from these universities.
The silver lining on this is that clearly we cannot lower the voting age to 16.
No,
We can't.
no.
Nope. And I would suggest perhaps raising the drinking age to 30.
I think you like that.
Golly, man. Okay, so that's been a big topic of conversation. Social distancing, a lot of people are making sacrifices, and then the spotlight is on the spring breakers in Florida. By the way, we talked about the beaches. Are they going to close? What's going to happen? The governor there, Ron DeSantis, has taken some heat, David.
Yes, he has. And in some cases, I would say rightfully so, but just because it's been several days that we knew, okay, we're shutting things down. Sort of like after you cancel March Madness and the NBA suspends its season, then you need to start thinking extreme measures because they're already foregoing millions of dollars by shutting down bars and restaurants, and yet, what, the beaches are still open? You're still
outside.
You have a whole bunch of people crowding together, though, man. They're not social distancing. They're not.
I understand that,
distance here,
but I understand the thinking that it's a completely different situation.
But
because there are a lot of parts that are not closed.
But yeah, and I still don't think it's all that useful to just Monday morning quarterback stuff. The important thing is that
although you're getting very good at it.
I know, but no, I'm just saying the decision has pretty much been made now.
Yes.
That okay, we are going to Governor Ron DeSantis. He was on Fox and Friends this morning. Not technically ordering the beaches to be closed, but
this pot is
have more
for
than 10
pot.
people gathered, so basically the beaches are closed.
So the message, I think, for spring breakers is that the party's over in Florida. You're not going to be able to congregate on any beach in the state. Many of the hot spots that people like to go to, whether it's Miami Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Clearwater Beach, are closed entirely for the time being. The bars are closed, so you're not going to have a place to congregate there. So we would just tell those folks, maybe come back next year when things are better. But that is not what we're looking for here in the state of Florida. Every single beach will have to abide by the CDC guidelines. No more than 10 people. You have to be socially distant. Not every beach is going to remain open, but some will. We have sheriff's deputies in places like Brevard County. They're going to be out on ATVs, making sure there's no groups. And I think that's a good approach.
Okay,
Okay, I know we have much bigger fish to fry
Next up
than
is
this
par 4, folks.
conversation. However, that doesn't sound to me like the beaches are closed. That sounds like some of the beaches are closed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit confusing the way he's laying it out, but he's saying that the state is following the CDC guidelines, so evidently you're going to have sheriff's deputies on four-wheelers going up and down the beach, and if there are more than 10 people gathered together, they're going to break them up.
Honestly, that's basically what I've been saying. Is that if you get there and it's crowded, you can't be on the beach.
And he's
But
probably
if
not
not,
happy with that.
Most people go to spring break in groups less than 10. You know what I mean? So say you got a group of 6 people, and it's 3 guys in one apartment or one room and 3 ladies in another. And they just go out and the 6 of them stay within 20 feet of everybody else. That means you're still open. That party's still going on, bro. Am I wrong? Am I missing something?
Well,
Now, if you fellas are concerned about the beaches, you do whatever you have to make them safe. But those beaches will be open for this weekend.
That Jaws clip is going to roll all week, every day. Am I missing something? They're still open. The specific ones are closed. But in other parts of the state,
And you've got them laying next to each other on blankets, and you've got, groups congregating together to do, bong hits or whatever. I mean,
And I think you'll like
impossible
that.
to separate people.
when's the last time you were at a beach?
Setting up 12
Well, no, I'm just
feet
saying
away.
it's a spring break.
Yes, when it gets too crowded, then you got people saying you're too close, you got to move, and then when you have, maybe they do have to close it down. But I'm saying
Have to close it down.
that what the governor said there is, to me, not saying the beaches are closed. If I'm 22, I'm like, okay, we can still go to this. We just got to stay away from people.
or in private, well, yeah, there are specific beaches that are closed that are hot spots.
Yes.
For partying and stuff like that. He's basically saying if you're out in a rural area, basically, and you just happen to have some shoreline, you can still go on the beach.
Okay.
Otherwise, the sheriff's deputy is going to tell you to move along.
All right. That's still confusing to me. But we need to move on to other stuff. Okay. The movie industry is going to be forever changed because of coronavirus? That's what people are saying, David?
Well, I think this is kind of a long time coming.
Ooh,
But
that was very close.
with now
Just
the
didn't
intense focus on video on demand and streaming, Disney's releasing Frozen 2 early, or they already did release it. Other movies are going to be available way before they were
And after
supposed
that
to. I
one,
think The Hunt is going
right
to be
there
coming out
in
this
6th
week.
place.
It just opened in theaters,
and
last
the 10th
week?
hole.
Well, it's terrible. Every review is bad.
But still, usually there's like at least a 30-day or 60-day exclusive. I'm sorry, 90 days or more to make it to DVD and video on demand and stuff like that. So that it's like a week later they're letting it out. But The Week I thought had an interesting article about this because as they write, the film industry is another part of life being dramatically reshaped. At first, it seemed temporary. You have simple changes being made to the release calendar. But
And the
now,
shot's looking
with
promising.
bans on movie theaters potentially that could stretch for months, major studios are exploring forms of distribution of the traditional theatrical pipeline. And basically they're saying if all goes right, major production companies could say, hey, we're making more money
And about 105 yards
just
to the
releasing this online. You're charging $20 a person, or not $20 a person, $20 a household for a 48-hour rental. That's better for the consumer, because if you're a family of 4, you're not going to get away from the movie theater for $20.
Oh, it takes out the popcorn.
Right.
Did you see the price of the popcorn? Popcorn $16.
Exactly.
Popcorn.
Right. Yeah. But it's more comfortable for the consumer. It's cheaper for the consumer, and the studios can make more money potentially on this because they're not splitting the pie with anybody.
Yeah, I think you will be pleased with that.
Well, and if it's a couple's movie,
And
and
this
one of the
for
two really
the
doesn't care to see it, you can kind of look at your phone and get updated stuff while the movie's rolling at home.
How about concerts? Would they do that with concerts too?
Maybe. I mean, there are some live stream concerts going on right
There's
now.
stuff happening now like that.
Yeah, it's true. To me, it's a little bit different in that I don't know if we'll see such a dramatic change with live events just because there is something about being in a venue live. But going to a movie theater, I understand, if there's there's the big screen, there's all the there's the audio stuff that's great in a movie theater most of the time. But if it, like you said, if it's just a romantic comedy or something that you really don't care about, you don't need to see that on a huge screen.
Yeah. The difference between seeing a concert live and at home is much greater than a movie in a theater or home.
I imagine like sporting event, right?
Sometimes sporting events are better
on at home.
Yes.
I mean, having gone to several NFL games, I prefer to watch NFL on TV.
Yeah. Depends on your seat.
Well, I suppose,
Sometimes.
I miss so much when I'm at an NFL game.
Everybody's different. You know, concerts, sometimes I've been to concerts where I'm like, that dude sang his butt. He was awesome. And you see a clip from the concert later, you're like, oh my gosh, I thought he sounded great. He sounds terrible here. You ever had that happen?
Sure. I was drunk for the day.
Oh, okay.
And he was also in tie for 6th place on the leaderboard. And now setting up for this
I
par
mentioned
5.
earlier we were going to get to, is it safe to run, hike, or walk outside in public? Well, it would depend on who you ask. And I will go with Dr. Fauci. He's who a lot of us are looking at right now for the answers. When he's saying, yes, you just keep the distance from people, but you want people outside getting their exercise. That's a good thing. But you've seen, like in San Francisco, saying you need to stay in. People are still out running around. And Jake Tapper, he kind of lost it.
Ooh, he did. Yes, he did.
You saw that. You may have the audio of that, David.
I might be able to dig that up real quick.
He was not happy. Probably not too happy about that one.
Yeah, I got it here.
He was finger wagging.
Yeah,
a little bit.
He was ticked, and this is
As
just
he
because
sets
the
up
city
for his
had
next
told
shot
him to stay
in the
inside,
rough here, folks.
and people were just kind of ignoring it.
What are you saying? That my 80-year-old dad, therefore, it's fair game?
Right.
I mean, the selfishness of people who are not taking this seriously it's just maddening.
People are saying it's okay. CDC to go out for a run or a hike or a bike ride or a walk. But that's okay. And that's what they had said in San Francisco. And it does seem like a mixed message.
Yeah. Infectious disease doctor.
That line's going to be much easier
Jake
than the
Tapper
last.
says no. I know. But these, like the conversations we just had about the beach, those are real conversations because there are some mixed messages. Oh, at the same time, I don't blame anybody for it because you don't know. We've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah, and it's like the mayor of Austin after South by Southwest is shut down, coming out and saying
that was the best.
Coming
that
out
was
and
very
saying,
early.
What did he say? Well, right, but you just shut down one of the biggest events in that city all year, and then
But if
he
you
comes
live
out.
here locally, go to the restaurants, go to the bars, go see a
And
band.
I think he will be happy with
By all means, come enjoy our vibrant downtown.
25
That
feet
is a
from
total mixed message. Are we going full on? The beaches are closed or not?
I don't think they are. And the mayor of San Francisco, when they said lock it all down, said people in San Francisco are definitely permitted to go out, to run, to exercise, to ride bikes. This is not about a vacation. We want you to only go out if absolutely necessary for essential services. But you are permitted to go out and get exercise.
So you're saying that Jake Tapper passed along more fake news?
Or his interpretation of it, that's the way I took it.
They had a guy on the street, too, and he was reacting to what he was seeing.
Tapper was.
I mean, they had a guy holding the microphone out there, and people are going by, with skateboards and rollerblades and running and that sort of thing.
Right.
So he was hot about that right away.
Ooh, almost.
Well, the mayor's saying people are permitted
Well, I
to go
know.
outside.
I heard somebody say that again last night. I mean, I think it was Fauci that said that. Like, okay,
Yeah, that's
go have fun.
That's okay to do.
And after that one, they'll stay right where they are in 6th
As long as
place.
you're 10 feet away while you're running.
Okay, moving on to the 12th.
But again, man, it's a mixed message. I understand where people are a little bit confused. All right, there's other stuff to get to. Big Star, self-quarantine. Big Star, yeah. Not to me, maybe not to you, but you'd have to say one of the top 3 music stars on the planet today.
Yes.
Self-quarantining, that much more coming up.
It's looking like it's heading into the fairway.
I know some of you are sleeping on a saggy old mattress at night, and you deserve better than that. So give yourself an upgrade. I'm getting the best sleep ever on my new Helix mattress. They built the perfect mattress for me. All I had to do was take their 2-minute Helix sleep quiz, and it was so easy. Whether you're a side sleeper, hot sleeper, like a plush or firm bed, just go to helixsleep.com/MVR. They'll match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Helix Sleep was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2019 by GQ and Wired Magazine. They have a 10-year warranty. Try it for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but I think you will. They'll match you to a customized mattress that will help give you the best sleep of your life. I fall asleep now immediately and sleep all the way through the night. And right now, Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/MVR. That's helixsleep.com/MVR for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Election, trade war. What in the world is the world coming to, and how will it affect your retirement? Fisher Investments has helped thousands of investors navigate all kinds of news and market conditions. Is your portfolio prepared? If you have $500,000 or more, call for Fisher's insightful free guide, The Stock Market Outlook, and learn how the market might impact your retirement this year. Call 1-800-402-8881. 1-800-402-8881. Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details. Need cash but have bad credit or maxed out cards? Now you can get a personal loan for up to $5,000, whatever your credit, with no paperwork. 27cash.com is one of the nation's largest personal loan networks. If you have a checking account and a regular income source, you can get cash in your account as soon as tomorrow. Type this into your smartphone or computer address bar. www.27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
Hope is everything. Gift of Hope strives to give that gift every day to the thousands of people waiting for life-saving organ and tissue transplants. Learn how you can donate at giftofhope.org. Renewal by Anderson.
At Renewal by Anderson, we're celebrating 25 years in business. I'm Sam Hare. We want to say thank you to all of our customers over the years that have had the chance to experience the best windows and doors in the industry. To celebrate, previous customers and new customers can take advantage of the best specials in 25 years. Buy 2 windows and get one 60% off with no money down and no interest until 2022. Text SPRING to 96714 for additional savings. We're celebrating 25 years in business. It's our 25th birthday, but you get all the presents. Buy 2 windows and get one 60% off with no money down and no interest until 2022. Text SPRING to 96714 for additional savings. Visit us online at renewalbyanderson.com or visit us at our showroom on Farmington Road.
Renewal by Anderson. We love our new windows.
And apologies to folks at
They're
home.
the 3 most misunderstood letters of 2020. CBD. You see it everywhere. Pharmacies, convenience stores, corner markets, online. CBD seems to be recommended for everyone and everything. But what's it all about?
At Banner Harvest, they specialize in the production of the highest quality laboratory-certified hemp and CBD products. They understand the uses, the science, the facts.
From their local farm in Banner, Illinois, they harvest CBD naturally with no pesticides or additives. They never cut corners.
They never take chances. They're family-owned, local, and committed to providing only the best. Answering your questions, providing research, and helping you find the right CBD options for you.
At Banner Harvest, they test and document information on all of their products so you can be confident when you use them. Look for Banner Harvest at local retail outlets or order online and have it shipped right to your door.
The easiest way to understand what CBD is all about and what it can do for you is to go right to the source. Banner Harvest, from their family to yours. Visit bannerharvest.com.
Checking right on cameras along War Memorial this afternoon as traffic is picking up just a bit now west of University through Glen and Sterling Allen Road up to Route 6. Look for lane restrictions still up in barrels in place. Slowdowns through University and Glen, and utility work continues north from Glen up to Sunnyview. Memorial eastbound picking up just a bit now from Prospect to the Pluggage Bridge. I-74, light traffic right now eastbound. Downtown Peoria across the Murray Baker Bridge. Lane restrictions are once again scheduled again tomorrow for westbound I-74. And a brand new project starts up next week that'll be affecting southbound traffic to be shared in south of War Memorial. More details of Traffic One at Facebook. The Canon Keller 256IF from Digital Copy Systems is one of the most versatile and cost-efficient business copiers available. See how much your office can save at dcscopiers.com. Mike Sable, LuxuryNautoGroup.com, Traffic 1.
Here's your WMBD Storm Tracker forecast. Scattered thunderstorms. Some of those could be heavy tonight. We'll see a low of 44. Tomorrow, cloud cover at 50. And then on Saturday, partly cloudy, much cooler with a high of only 38.
Finally, radio you can actually see.
Things are looking pretty good here.
Just follow our Instagram.
Going down the road, we're looking real good.
1470 and 100.3 WMBD.
Looks like a
The
7,
Van
right?
Camp and Robbins show. Jamie Martley, David Van Camp, here's Scott Robbins. All right, talking about maybe a couple of cures for coronavirus. Not FDA
And I
approved
think
yet.
he will like that.
Well, not cures. They're talking about treatments to shorten the length of the time, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
it's not.
sorry
Sorry for
to
the
go
fake
here.
news.
I mean, that's what they're talking. There's a malaria drug that they are looking at right now, and hopefully that'll be available or FDA approved. I mean, fairly soon. There's another antiviral that's out there that they're testing as well. So it is positive news.
That is good news. Adult toy sales are way up.
Well, you know,
There's a lot of stories out there just trying to cover
it's
everything.
all that social distancing.
That's right. Also, a new website, howmuchtoiletpaper.com. It'll tell you how long your current supply will last based on what you got and how often you're going to the bathroom. And yesterday, on our Facebook page, Scott, you posted a picture of my dog, who is having her best life now because the family's home.
Right, everybody's home.
Daughter's back from college, kids are home, dogs love it.
And that one will go from Birdie.
And it's not like the summer where everybody's going in, 4 directions with different activities. Everybody's there. She's just digging it.
And
But a woman also posted a video of her cat who's upset
He
that
is
the whole
currently
family's home all day.
place on the leaderboard.
Cat probably is.
It's setting
When
up
are
now
you
on
people gonna
15.
leave? Getting so tired of this whole thing. Drake is self-quarantining because he had hung out with Kevin Durant, who tested positive for coronavirus. I bring that up also because there are some people very upset that it seems some celebrities and NBA players and athletes are getting tested before people that desperately need it. Bill de Blasio is one that
Just a
was saying
huge
this is
drive here.
right. And I'm not even sure what to say about it other than these NBA teams are paying private companies to test these players.
Yeah, they're acting like the
Now
government
the
is
shot
putting people
coming
ahead
out
of the
of the
line or
rough.
something like that, which, as I understand it, is not what's happening. So
No, the teams are paying private companies to test them. Now, I mean, could the private companies say, no, we're not taking your money right now. We're going to go wherever we're needed?
they could.
They could.
Well, maybe if you could provide half-court tickets to a Nets game, you'd get moved to the front of the line, too.
But, I mean, I'm not going to blame somebody that's going to pay for it if they can.
No, but I mean, but de Blasio's all worked up about privilege and
I understand.
I mean, this is a guy who, on the same day, he shut down most of the city of New York. And on that same day, was going to the gym.
Correct.
So, this guy wants to talk about privilege. Give me a break.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right that somebody can get tested that just because they're a great athlete before, an elderly person that, really needs it. But if you are the athlete and the team is thinking, we have, in some cases, hundreds of millions of dollars invested in this person. They got the symptoms. I want to test.
You know what
We
else?
can pay for it.
Right, and if an NBA player blows out an ACL, you know what? They'll get that fixed way quicker than if grandma gets that ACL blown out.
Yes,
It happens.
I know. But I mean, I don't know.
Staying right there in fifth place after that hole.
With that or not, I don't know.
And setting
And
up on the
Maybe you have the
16th
story.
tee.
Americans are hanging up the Christmas lights again.
yeah, I thought took mine down. That's good. I'm right in step now with everyone else.
Well, a play-by-play broadcaster for the Brewers tweeted about putting up Christmas lights to bring back some light and joy during the darkness of coronavirus.
That more people are doing. Yeah. So you're already ahead of the curve, Scotty. That's nice.
It's up, everything's there. Yep.
This one's questionable as to where it's going to
may
end
not
up.
be stomach issues. For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out. No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable. But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms. Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by App.
March 19th.
Live from the UpDrinkChevy.com studios.
Visit the heart of Chevy Country today. Updring Chevy in Washington.
This is 1470 and 100.3 WMBD.
Peoria, Bartonville, Brimfield, and all of Central Illinois.
And on HD Radio at 93.3 WPBG HD4 Peoria. WMBD News Now. On the hour, on the half, and when it breaks.
More cases. I'm Jeremy Scott. Governor Pritzker says the total number of cases in Illinois of COVID-19 has increased to 422 in 22 counties, up from yesterday's 288 cases in 17 counties. In our Tri-County area, 5 people have now tested positive. The Peoria City County Health Department says a second person in Woodford County has tested positive. The 3 other patients are in Peoria County. Pritzker, coming back to what he said earlier, says one of the patients who tested positive for COVID-19 in Illinois has died. It was a Florida woman visiting Sangamon County. 2 other deaths were reported, those 2 in Cook and Will counties.
These moments will not get easier. We are fighting this fight for every person in Illinois. We've all lost something today.
Pritzker says in the coming days, the state will be able to test 2,000 people per day. WMBD News brought to you by Updring Weston Cadillac. The new Cadillac CT5 is now available at the Cadillac dealers. Plus, enjoy outstanding offers on XT4, XT5, and Escalade. Updring Weston Cadillac in Peoria, UpdringWestonCadillac.com.
I'm here showing busier traffic now along War Memorial, especially west of University, Glen Sterling Allen Road up to Route 6, and eastbound from Prospect to the McCluggage Bridge. That's why I'm almost down this afternoon. I-74 traffic has been on the lighter side, especially eastbound from downtown Peoria to the East Peoria side on the Murray-Baker Bridge. We're also expecting bridge work returning again tomorrow, affecting westbound I-74 from the East Peoria side. And a new project will be starting up in Peoria next week on Sheridan, as southbound Sheridan will be down to 1 lane for repaving work. That'll be south of War Memorial. More details posted at Traffic One on Facebook. Wonder if you need screening for COVID-19, talk to the OSF chat box. Claire, digital assistant, she'll handle your questions 24/7. Visit Claire now at osfhealthcare.org. Mike Sable, outergroup.com, Traffic One.
A woman facing child murder charges is pleading not guilty. Our Christina Leahy files this report.
In Pekin, I'm Christina Leahy. Trial continues for 33-year-old Leslie Jett as she faces 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of aggravated battery that resulted in the death of a 4-year-old East Peoria boy. Jett appeared in Tazewell County Court today via video chat, and she is pleading not guilty and is currently seeking private counsel. Her next court date has been scheduled for April 9th. From the Tazewell County Courthouse, Christina Leahy, 1470, 100.3 WMBD.
And Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is proposing direct payments of $1,200 per person and $2,400 for couples amid the coronavirus outbreak. That's according to a copy of the legislation obtained by the Associated Press. The GOP leader is poised to unveil the sweeping response as Congress races to draft a $1 trillion measure to shore up households and the U.S. economy. WMBD markets, the Dow closed up today, 188.27. NASDAQ up 160.73. S&P up 11.29. Showers, thunderstorms, what you can expect for tonight. Your WMBD Storm Tracker forecast is next.
What would it be like to save a life? When you hear that, you probably think of doctors and paramedics, firefighters and police officers, people who heroically through their professions save lives. Gift of Hope wants you to know that you too can save a life. As an organ and tissue donor, Gift of Hope has coordinated donations that have saved the lives of over 23,000 organ transplant recipients over the past 30 plus years. Learn more about donation at giftofhope.org. Find out how you can become a donor yourself or donate funds to the cause. That's giftofhope.org. Help us give the gift of life. Gift of Hope.
Mom, delivery!
You've been loading up on things from Walmart.
Yeah, I used my new Capital One Walmart Rewards card. It earns unlimited 5% back on everything I buy from Walmart online.
Say what?
5% back.
Say what?
5% back.
Say what now?
5% back.
With what?
The Capital One Walmart Rewards card. Earn unlimited rewards, including 5% back at Walmart online on top of Walmart's everyday low prices. What's in your wallet?
Terms and exclusions apply. Capital One USA NA.
And now, a page from the diary of Flo.
Dear diary, I got the brush off again. I don't get it. Is there something wrong with the way I wave? Elbow, wrist, elbow, wrist. Why won't that little basset hound acknowledge me? I'm friendly. I give everyone peace of mind when I protect their homes through Progressive. He should be jumping for joy when I walk by.
Save an average of 17% on car insurance when you bundle home and auto through Progressive.
Maybe it's me. No, it's
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations. One company, the edge over another. Maybe it's not one thing. Maybe it's taking care of lots of things that help a business run smoothly. In other words, Cintas. Cintas has products that help your people stay safe and apparel programs that convey the right image. They service fire protection equipment, deliver and stock restroom supplies, and make sure facilities are clean and ready. Because when all those things work together, you're in business. Oh, I'm ready! Get Cintas and get ready for the workday. This is Peter on his motorcycle. And this is Peter on his motorcycle. Please move your paper off my desk. Thank you. On his motorcycle. I feel so alive! On his motorcycle. I feel like we covered that already, so on. Wow! Look at the ocean! Look at this article I found about urban planning. You're better on your bike. Progressive helps keep you honest. Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates.
WMBD Storm Track forecast for the rest of the afternoon. Showers, thunderstorms, high of 65. Tonight, more showers and thunderstorms with the low around 40. Winds getting up to about 30 miles an hour. Now, for tomorrow, we could see some showers early. Mostly cloudy, though, for the rest of the day. The temps are going to fall as the day goes on to about 40 by 10 a.m. And down after that, we'll